Hey, what's up? My name is Alex, and if you clicked on this video, it's probably because you're new to the Pokemon TCG Online and haven't really broken into Standard yet. I'm here to help you do that, because today I'll be showing you the perfect budget deck to get you started playing Standard. Mad Party. I guarantee it will cost less than, 7 packs to build, and if you subscribe to the channel and comment your username below, I will personally give you all 16 Mad Partiers to help start your journey as a Pokemon Master in the Standard format. So consider subscribing if you like the content, and without further ado, here's the deck. So to start off with, the entire strategy of our deck revolves around this Mad Party attack, which says this attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile that has the Mad Party attack. So if you pass the 5th grade, or if you have a calculator handy, whichever works for you, you'll see that the total damage output this deck can do is 320, enough to knock out the biggest tag teams and most Pokemon VMAX. Of course, you'll always have those pesky Eternituses, but death and taxes, am I right? Realistically, though, the most you can do is 300 because you obviously need someone attacking that can't be in the discard pile. So to get our Mad Partiers discarded, we're playing 2 copies of Galarian Articuno V, which, as I'm recording this, is one of the cheaper V Pokemon on the trade market. Its ability Reconstitute allows you to discard 2 cards from your hand and draw 1, which synergizes perfectly with the whole Mad Party mantra. Additionally, there is built-in draw support and discard support with Polteageist's T-Break ability, which says you can discard a Pokemon that has the Mad Party attack from your hand and draw 2 cards, which is just a really strong ability. Usually your goal in games in the early game is to get as many Polteageists set up as you can so you can get through your deck and you can get Mad Partiers discarded. Our supporter line also consists of 4 Research and 4 Clay, which gives us great draw and discard synergy. Clay, of course, lets you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, put all items into your hand and discard the rest, which, if you Clay into 7 Mad Partiers, right, that's great. Research gives us that solid discard your hand, draw 7, which is always really, really good. And then the rest of our cards are mostly search cards. We've got 4 Quick Balls, we've got 4 Level Balls, we've got 4 Great Balls, and we have 2 Familiar Bell. We also have 2 Air Balloon, which allows us to pivot out of the active, and we have 3 Boss's Orders and 1 Great Catcher to target down, juicy Dedenne GXs, things of that nature. We also have the standard 4/4 line of Triple Acceleration Energy and Twin Energy, which allows us to get single attachment attacks off, which can give us some vital tempo early game. And then the other 2 cards in this deck are a Mew from Unbroken Bonds and a Hoopa from Unified Minds, which help tip certain matchups in our favor. The Mew, for instance, helps us against, Inteleon VMAX and Urshifu VMAX because it prevents the bench sniping that they can do, and that can really mess up your deck because we're playing only low HP Pokemon. And then the Hoopa gives you a good tempo attacker in the early game against Shadow Rider because it hits for weakness, it's a single attachment, and you don't it doesn't need Mad Partiers to be in the discard. So if you're starting out slow, you can get an attack off with this, and you can kind of substitute for a Mad Partier, and while you're getting stuff discarded to get bigger and better Mad Party attacks. So this is just really good against that matchup. And so that's our deck. Next, I'll show you a few games I played with it so you can get a feel for the gameplay and hopefully feel confident enough to yourself to try it out. And without further ado, here is Budget Mad Party. So we've hopped into a game against John Taiwan. And we've actually mulliganed twice, which is kind of bad. But this hand is, it's semi-solid. We have the draw supporter for next turn. Getting the Sinistea off that Great Ball is really good because we can get another one. It looks like we're playing against some kind of Corviknight build. Maybe it's a more Zacian-based build. Maybe it's Luke Metal Corviknight. Maybe it's Bronzong Corviknight. I think if it's, I don't know, we prize trade favorably into any deck that plays multi-prize Pokemon, so that's good. That's already an inherent advantage we have against this deck. But the thing is, if they're going to be healing, usually we can't one-shot Corviknight VMAXs or other VMAXs. If they drop that Crobat, that would be good. The Viridian Forest helps us a little bit because we can discard Mad Partiers out of our hand if we don't find the Galarian Articuno. So we're just going to see a ram or something. I don't expect he'll leave this in the active because he'll want to, yeah, he'd want to hold on to his attachments. The top deck of the Polteageist is really good here. I think we're going to Clay first. I think that was at least 2 Mad Partiers that we saw get discarded, which is great. So we actually have a really good hand here. We're gonna Great Ball first. If we could, I think we're probably gonna use the Quick Ball to go ahead and find a an Articuno, because the Articuno is just, it's solid to have one down. We can Quick Ball the Twin. The Twin also is very good, because that gives us the attack for this turn. We can drop another Sinistea. We probably go ahead and Level Ball for a Bunnelby, just so we have a follow-up attacker. Early game like this, we don't want to be attacking with the Polteageists because we need their abilities for more draw support. So we're going to go ahead and grab this guy. And you can see we're almost already out of Mad Partiers. We have 2 more Dedenne that we're probably going to discard at some point, and we have one of them in our hand, and probably one of the Polteageists. I don't think we have, yeah, we don't have the attack here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 140. Right, we could Viridian Forest away that thing and get an extra 20 damage on, but we don't have it, so that's unfortunate. But I think we're still okay. We got the first hit here, which is good. It means this guy will be able to get bossed later in the game. They can't use Cheryl to heal Crobats because Crobats are basic Pokemon. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Bronzong. They don't have any metal in the discard. Okay, and as I say that, they discard a metal. So that means their metal saucers are active, which is kind of suboptimal. But I think if they're attacking with their 240, you know, their max attack or whatever, I think they're kind of playing a little bit suboptimally because, because they have to, wait another turn before they can attack, right? And obviously, they can just retreat and attack with the other one. But, you know, anytime you're hitting for 240 into a basic Pokemon that has 40 hit points, it just feels really terrible. So, yeah, they dropped the Dedenne, which is really good. We could just boss that next turn, and we could take that out if we wanted, because, like I said, we have the Dedenne in our hand, so we can, you know, T-break it away. And get up to that 160. They're going to be hitting us for 190, which means we lose the energy, which is kind of bad. I think it's probably okay though. I think we've got what, 7 more outs to energy. Maybe we attack. I think we probably attack with a Polteageist here, just so the triple acceleration energy is active, right? And that's a viable top deck. The research, I think, how many do we need? So we need both of the Dedenne, we have all of the Rime. So we're hitting for 160. It'd be 170 if we discard that. 180. No, we're hitting for 160. It'd be 180 if we discard that, right? We discard 2 more, which would probably ideally be the other Dedenne and maybe a Bunnelby. I think we'd be great if we could get the knockout here and discard all their energy, and I think that'll do it. So we can Familiar Bell for that, and then we can probably just, I think we probably hold on to the Familiar Bell just in case we, oh wait, yeah, so we want to grab, I don't know, it's probably best to grab the Polteageist here and discard that, because we need 1, 2, 3, and then it would be 4, 5 would be the other 2 attackers, and the deck would be the last Polteageist. But I think we've got it here, so we T-break this away. And we T-break this way. And now we're hitting for, but we don't find the energy. I think we have the reconstitute. We can quick ball for, no, we can't quick ball for another Articuno. We do have the knockout if we find the energy, though, because we're hitting for 220, which is kind of cracked. But we have to find it off of this reconstitute here. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. Let's see. that's so clutch. So yeah, so the play at the beginning to promote the Polteageist instead of promoting, I don't know if that'll ever be good here. They have, it's doing base 70. If they evolve that, it's doing 90. If they evolve this one, I think this guy has an ability that prevents special conditions. So that guy could hit for, you know, like 100 damage. But getting the knockout here is actually insanely good. Because now we just have a really clear route to victory. We don't have to go through any of their VMAXs because we can go boss or Great Catcher and we can go boss on this guy. That's just insanely cracked, if we're being honest here. We did get the twin off the prize draw, which is really good, which means we can feel safe sending up the Bunnelby next turn. Yeah, so that's another Pokemon with the abilities. So we're now hitting for, how much is that? We're hitting for 110 with the Hoopa. I don't know if that's ever worth it to attack with over a Mad Partier, because we have, right, they have 4 prizes left, and we have 1 more Bunnelby, and we have 2 more Polteageists. So I think we can probably just start thinning at this point, and all we need to do is we need to find the Great Catcher. We can do boss this turn, take out the Crobat, and I think we're just so far ahead that as long as we find the Great Catcher, which we can do with, you know, like, right, the thing about the Great Catcher is we can Great Catcher and use a draw supporter on the same turn, which is insanely good. So I think we just, like, thin the deck out of everything that isn't one of those things. And the Great Catcher is in the deck, you saw it there. So we're just gonna, yeah, we're gonna go boss, and then what we need to find next turn is an energy and a Great Catcher, and we win. I think we'll probably promote a Polteageist again. If we reconstitute here, I think we always want the research over the clay, because we can get energy off the research. We can't get energy off the clay. Yeah, so we have 10 cards in our deck. We have our top deck. We have at least 1 reconstitute, which brings us down to 8, and then we can research, and we can see at least all but 1 of our cards. Right, so we should be able to find an energy and a Great Catcher next turn, which should give us the win. And they're just going to concede because they were too far. They were too far behind. They knew all we needed was 1 more gust. And yeah, that's basically how the deck works. It's very rare you'll get great tempo like that. Like we had the turn 2 knockout on the Corviknight, which is insane. But yeah, that's the optimal gameplay right there. Is if you can get that every single time, you really can't lose because of just how favorable the prize trade is for you. Okay, so we've got another game here against Mr. ILX17. I think we always have the Articuno in play, so I think it's okay to you know, start it. The thing about playing V Pokemon in this deck is it offsets, you know, it offsets the prize trade a little bit because they have the opportunity for a 1 prize or a 2 prize turn, which is, you know, it's kind of bad, but I think you can afford usually to play at least 1 V, or to play at least 1 of the Articunos. I don't know what they're playing, but that means they're playing Chinchino, which means the Hoopa could come in handy. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm gonna grab, which might be a bit of a gamble, but I'm gonna grab the Sinistea. And I don't know if we play for an attack with the Triple Excel next turn. I don't think we do, because I think it's really beneficial to have like as many Polteageist set up early game as you can. So I think we're going to try for a Hoopa attack next turn. We're not going to drop it because they don't know that we have it. There's no reason for them to think that we have that in our deck. But maybe if they drop like a Dedenne or a Crobat, we can hit for a little bit. And then if not, right, then we can probably just research it away. Or we can drop it on the bench, have it as a bench sitter, right? Obviously since, okay, then they're playing Urshifu VMAX, so that becomes kind of bad then to play the Hoopa because you want to have bench space for the Mew, and you need to have bench space for the Mew. Otherwise, you kind of just lose this matchup, and that's another insane draw. Urshifu Moltres, eh? So I think we're gonna drop the Mew, and we're probably just gonna research away all of this stuff, and we're gonna try for a knockout on this Minccino if we can get it. There's an argument probably for dropping the Dedenne, or dropping the Bunnelby, sorry. But I think this is okay. So we're going to evolve here. We have the Level Ball for another Mad Partier if we want. Really what we need is an Air Balloon though. So that would be really good. Now we can afford to go ahead and use this Level Ball because we have the Quick Ball for the Bunnelby if we want it, right? If we can find the Air Balloon off our draw, that would be really good. We're not going to, though. We could try and reconstitute. That feels kind of slow. The Urshifu is weak to Polteageist, right? Which is really, really good for us in this matchup. I don't know, maybe we... He has everything he needs to do a G-Max attack next turn. We have 100 damage on board. We could play for the boss next turn, but I think he's going to attack. So I don't think we're going to do that. If we grab the Dedenne, we can reconstitute. It would be really good to get an attachment here. I think we don't need to rush it, right? We don't need to dig for the Air Balloon, right? One more card isn't going to make or break. So I think we just attach here because if we're going to research away, we've already discarded one Triple XL unnecessarily, and we're going to be discarding another one. So I think it's cool if we just set up for next turn. He's going to switch into this guy. Marnie is going to actually put our energy back into the deck, which is kind of good, but we don't have a draw supporter guaranteed, so let's see if we can get one. And never fails. It never fails. That's insane. So the Hoopa here, I don't know. I think usually the Hoopa isn't good enough to warrant being benched. Against most decks, 130 isn't going to be better than the Mad Parties unless it's like early in the game where you're not like able to have the Mad Party attack out yet. If we get rid of this hand, the thing is we might have trouble finding guys to discard with T-Break. So maybe I think we start going in with T-Break and we do it until we, because if we're going to be researching no matter what. Yeah, so we needed the Air Balloon. We're going to be researching no matter what. So I think we just dig until we find the energy or the attachment. And there's the Triple XL. We have 140 damage in the discard pile. So we have two searches here, and we can discard 140, 160. So we do have the knockout. So we're going to go, I don't know what the right way to sequence this is. So we grab the Rime. We're probably going to, I think we hold on to the T-Break, right? Give ourselves the option to T-Break out of the research. We're going to grab that guy. We're going to just go ahead and go. And I think it's okay that we're running out of attackers, right? We only have one more Bunnelby in the deck, but I think that's fine because their prize route is probably going to be attacking for the Gardekuna. So I think we don't have to worry about running out of attackers. We don't play an Old Rod in this deck, but if you wanted to, that's of course an inclusion you could make. Let me just make sure we have it here. It's 9, which is 180, which is 360. So I think we have it right. We could Familiar Bell. I think we're going to Familiar Bell just to be certain here, and we're going to T-Breakaway, just so we're sure we have it, because if we have this, that's basically game, because all we need now is just like, you know, an easy boss KO. And the thing is, we're at 200 now, so if he knocks out this guy, or if he attacks with the Moltres, right, that does 30 damage to itself, they're all in OHKO range as well. So I think probably his only way out of this, he could start attacking, he could do cute stuff with Cincino if he like maybe takes out our Bunnelby with the energy assist, but I think we're probably good. And he evolves the Urshifu, which means that's all we need now. All we need now is just a boss, and we have 2 more bosses. We have another Bunnelby for +2 draw. We have another Articuno, and they just concede because, yeah, they were too far behind. And so this game was played consecutively with the last game, right? So I played 1 game before the last game, and so throughout this whole recording session has just been 3 games, right? And I conceded the first game because it was Dragapult, and it's just like really a bad matchup if you don't get out like early attacks, and I didn't get out early attacks. I was dead drawing. But that's like 2 back-to-back games that like this deck really showed out, right? And like I said, it costs less than 7 packs to build, right? Probably the most. I originally had Hoopa. In this list because Hoopa is, I think, a little bit better than Clay because you can grab energy off of your draw. But you know, Hoopa's really expensive, and I didn't realize that until I went looking for Hoopa because I didn't have Hoopa originally, and I was just adding it to this deck because I thought it would be good. But I think probably the Articuno is the most expensive thing here, maybe Boss, but the rest of this is really cheap. And like I said, if you subscribe, first off, subscribe if you like the content, but also if you subscribe and comment your PTCGO username below, I have a crap ton of Mad Party Pokemon from my opening of Darkness Ablaze packs. So yeah, if you comment your PTCGO username, I'll add you as a friend, and I will trade you a whole playset of these, just to show you thank you for engaging yourself with the video. And, you know, helping me grow my channel. So, yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.